Hey, this is Michael J. with This Old Car. You know, when car enthusiasts hear the term E-Class, they almost universally think of Mercedes-Benz, and rightfully so, right? Since the 1990s, the E-Class has been one of the German automakers' most iconic model lines, blending luxury, engineering precision, and status into a single package. But here's the twist that most people don't know. A full decade earlier, Chrysler in the United States was already selling a car officially called the Chrysler E-Class.
You're about to witness a new creation, a whole new class of automobile, the Chrysler E-Class. Chrysler's largest front-wheel drive sedans with elegance, luxury.
Yes, long before the Mercedes made the name famous, Chrysler introduced its own E-Class sedan. The model, well, it didn't last long, nor was it a big seller, but it stands out today as a fascinating artifact of American automotive history. To understand why Chrysler built an E-Class at all, you have to consider the company's situation at the dawn of the 1980s. Chrysler was in a crisis, teetering on bankruptcy. Its new CEO, the legendary Lee Iacocca, pushed the company to embrace downsizing and front-wheel drive. The foundation of Chrysler's revival was the K-Car platform, an unassuming but versatile front-wheel drive architecture.
The new Chrysler Corporation introduces the K-Cars, the American way to beat the pump.
From the early 80s onward, the K-Car spawned a whole family of models without requiring massive investment in new engineering. Derivatives of this platform underpinned everything from Dodge Aries sedans to the first Chrysler minivans. By 1983, Chrysler engineers developed an extended version of the K-Car platform known internally as the E-Body. Confusingly, Mopar fans, they had already associated the term E-Body with the legendary rear-wheel drive architecture that produced the Dodge Challenger and Plymouth Barracuda muscle cars of the 1970s. But the new E stood for Extended, a stretched version of the front-wheel drive K-Car. Chrysler lengthened the LeBaron's 100-inch or 255-centimeter wheelbase to 103 inches or 262 centimeters and increased the overall body length from 179 inches or 455 centimeters to 187 inches or 475 centimeters by stretching the front and rear overhangs. With that, a new platform was born, ready to underpin slightly larger, more upscale sedans. The birth of the Chrysler E-Class. You know, it debuted in 1983 alongside the Chrysler New Yorker and Chrysler Executive. You know, Dodge also launched a version called the Dodge 600, though that one played more in the mid-market. You know, originally, Chrysler's marketing department considered naming the car Grand LeBaron, a logical extension of the smaller LeBaron sedan. But somewhere along the way, they chose the bolder name E-Class, directly referencing the new platform designation. The move was deliberate. It hinted at European sophistication, and Chrysler's ad campaign leaned into that image. Slogans promoted the car as a touring sedan in the European tradition, clearly targeting buyers who might otherwise consider Audi, Volvo, Saab, or even Mercedes-Benz itself. And Chrysler, they weren't shy about the design cues either. A glance at the tail lamp shapes revealed more than a passing resemblance to contemporary Mercedes sedans. The intent was, it was obvious. This was Chrysler's budget-friendly alternative to European luxury. If you step back and look at it all, the E-Class was actually a cheaper, simplified version of the New Yorker. The New Yorker came with standard features like vinyl Landau style roof and plush trim. Its price started at around $11,500 in 1983. The E-Class, meanwhile, carried a more modest starting price of $9,300. The lower price point meant that some equipment considered standard on the New Yorker was optional on the E-Class. Still, expensive extras such as air conditioning and digital instrumentation cluster and Chrysler's novelty voice alert system were optional on both models. Inside, the E-Class offered a simpler cabin. Upholstery came in cloth or vinyl, but leather wasn't available at all. Chrysler, they wanted buyers to see this model as an obtainable luxury, something upscale but still affordable for the middle-class families. Under the hood, the Chrysler E-Class launched with two engine options. A 2.2-liter Chrysler inline-4, it produced 94 horsepower and 116 pound-feet of torque. Fuel economy was strong for the era, around 32 miles per gallon highway. Performance, however, was sluggish with a 0 to 60 at about 16 seconds. The 2.6-liter Mitsubishi inline-4 was slightly larger in displacement, but actually rated lower at 92 horsepower. It also delivered less efficiency, averaging about 26 miles per gallon highway, roughly 6 miles per gallon worse than the smaller engine. For 1984, Chrysler improved the situation. The 2.2-liter engine received electronic fuel injection, bumping output slightly and trimming acceleration times. More importantly, a turbocharged 2.2-liter option became available, raising power to 140 horsepower and cutting the 0 to 60 time to around 11 seconds. No one would call it sporty, but compared to the base engine, it was a revelation. One of the oddest members of the E-Class family was the Chrysler Executive, a limousine built from 1984 to 1988. Surprisingly, these cars started life as regular Chrysler LeBaron coupes. Specialty coach builders, American Specialty Cars, or ASC in Michigan, converted them into stretched limousines, which Chrysler then sold through its dealers as official models. The Executive, along with Cadillac Series 75, was one of the only factory-approved limousines of the mid-'80s. Fewer than 1,500 were ever made, making it a rare sight today. Looking back, at first, Chrysler's gamble looked like it might work. In 1983, the E-Class sold 39,000 units, outpacing the New Yorker's 33,000. The combination of a lower price and European-style marketing seemed to resonate with buyers. But the success was short-lived. By 1984, sales dropped to 32,000, while the New Yorker surged to 60,000. Clearly, buyers preferred the fully loaded luxury of the New Yorker over the cost-cutting compromise of the E-Class. By 1985, Chrysler, they pulled the plug. The E-Class was quietly phased out after just 2 model years. Its replacement? The Chrysler Caravelle. I've never really ever heard of it. If you've owned one before, hey, leave your comments below. I want to know more about it. It was essentially a rebadged and slightly retrimmed continuation of the same platform, if you will. So, again, if you own one, leave your comments below. Even the Caravelle's modest success was doomed. In 1986, Ford launched the groundbreaking Taurus with its sleek aerodynamic styling and modern engineering. Practically overnight, Chrysler's boxy cake car derivatives looked hopelessly outdated. The Chrysler E-Class may never be remembered alongside the greats of automotive history, but it deserves a footnote as one of the more unusual experiments of the 1980s. Hey, this is Michael J. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we are asking our viewers to hit that subscribe button because we are headed towards 100,000 subscribers. It's simple, just click the button. We have more videos on the way. And for those of you who've subscribed and been our long time subscribers, hey man, we really appreciate it. Hey, like, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications. Michael J. with This Old Car. You guys, take care.